Hello, welcome, Kim Searle, Emotional Mastery. I want to talk to you today about the whole clash of the titans, I've called this, between your logical brain and your emotional brain. And I don't know whether you've ever seen a small child who just has a complete meltdown and there's nothing you can do and nothing you can say to console them, to help them move through it. There really is nothing. And the reason that they're behaving that way is because some part of them is unhappy about something, which is obvious. But what may not be clear to you is that it's a automatic response and they have no control. They do not yet have the capacity to think about things and work their way through them. So I want you to understand when you do see children having a meltdown, your best bet is just to be with them, allow them to get through it, and not to criticize them. Years ago, when I was working in an office environment, I was having a dispute with my manager. We got on really well. It was just, sometimes you have your ups and downs. This was most definitely a down. And I can't even remember what it was about. But he turned around and said to me in his anger, "Stop being emotional." Now, I was not quick enough off the mark for this. But he was angry with me. And his anger was emotion as well as what I was going through. So he was actually telling me off whilst actually telling himself off. And he had no idea of the contradiction he just said. By the way, we made it up absolutely fine. But it brings out an important point for me, is that when somebody, be that they a small child, your partner, or somebody at work, when they have reached an emotional meltdown of sorts, there is no point whatsoever in being able to reason it out. They're not in the right space. So telling them to get a grip, pull yourself together, stop being emotional is not helpful. What is more helpful is giving them the space to be emotional and just be with them, just to listen. Now, I don't know, that may feel very uncomfortable for you, but they work through it very quickly, certainly as adults. And the reason that they're behaving like this, the reason that you can't reason with emotions, is that the emotional response is a safety net. It's based on your fear factor. Your body thinks it's being threatened in some way, and it goes into survival mode. And in survival mode, all you need to be able to do is fight, flight, run away, or freeze, stand there and just do nothing. It's a natural way of being, and the logic mind doesn't come into it at all. It might kick in a bit later, but it's not there while you're deep in the middle of the emotion. You just cannot do anything with it. And it's more important than the cognitive brain at that point. So why am I telling you this? I said the other day about a situation I had found myself in the car with an angry lady behind me. It was really important not to rise to that. Seeing a small child having a meltdown, we want them to grow up feeling emotionally stronger, able to express their emotions appropriately. And one way of doing that is to let them know it's okay. Have your little tantrum and just be with them. And when they're finished, just say, are you done now? Is that it? So that they know it's okay to have whatever the emotional content is that's going on for them. It helps them learn about their emotions and what it's telling them. And when you've got a boss who's just obviously, for whatever reason, having a bit of a meltdown himself, even though he thinks you're having one too, is to just time out. I mean, time out's an awesome one. But it is just allowing those emotions to work through so that you can drop the levels down. So the key message is here: you cannot be emotional and logical at the same time, and there's nothing wrong with that. If it's embarrassing for you, remove yourself from the situation until you've calmed down. That old count to 10 can be quite powerful. You might find it's nearer 100. I don't know. It's what works for you. And certainly on some of the other videos here, you'll see that I've put some emotional hacks to help you work through those. If, however, you need some help, you want to talk to somebody through something that's going on, and let's face it, right now, there's a lot going on, isn't there? I want you to reach out. I do 30-minute calls with people. There's no obligation. It's just giving you time to think through what's driving that emotional response. So I think that's that for today. That's what I wanted to share with you. Thank you for listening in, for those of you who have. I appreciate that. And share this with somebody who you think might find this useful. Kim Searle, Emotional Mastery. Realizing that you can't be cognitive and logical and emotional at the same time. And it's okay. Take care. I'll speak to you tomorrow. Bye.